Hey, it's the Preacher here, and we're back at the reloading table today. We're going to load some 308. Before we look at our load, I want to show you what we're loading it for. I did some trading on election day, and I traded an AR-15 for this Remington Model 700 VTR in a 308. Has the triangle-shaped barrel with the muzzle brake on the top. I don't know much about these. I just thought the triangle barrel looked cool. And I know the 308's a great caliber. I've never owned a 308 before. A lot of people may find that shocking, but I always shot a 0.6 and a 243. And so I've wanted a 308 for a long time. I thought this was a unique one to have. The trade was good. So I've got some, I've shot it a few times. I tried 5 different loads in it, just trying to get an idea of what worked. And out of those 5 different loads, I shot one group that was around a 1/2 inch. And it was with 125 grain Nozler Ballistic tips. So we'll be loading them for that gun. We're going to get them loaded up. My son's going to deer hunt with this tonight. So let's take a look at the load. Now that we know what we're shooting it in, we've shot it a few times, we know that it hits good. Let's talk about what we're actually going to load. Today's powder is going to be Varget. I know, shocking, I'm not using IMR 3031. I tried IMR 3031, but I got like 1.5 inch groups at 100 yards. I tried 43 grains of IMR 3031 and 44 grains of IMR 3031, and I tried those with 150 grain spear soft points. It was about 1.5 inch group. I tried Varget with 150 grain spear soft points and didn't shoot those very well either, so it might have just been 150 grain bullets. But I had some Varget on loan to me from Bob, the guy I got the gun from. And I had some of these 125 grain Nozler Ballistic tips. I load these in my 300 Blackout and they shoot great in it. There's a look at the bullet. Anyways, I know most people don't think of a 308 with 125 grain bullets, but I'm for whatever's accurate and whatever works. I put 49 grains of Varget. I just loaded 3 rounds of that just to try it. And 2 bullets in one hole, and then scooted over about 1/4 inch. There was another bullet. And so anyways, very good. 49 grains of Varget. I'm shooting CCI large rifle primers in number 200. Be using RCBS dies. This is a full-length sizing die. The brass was new Remington brass when I loaded it. I mean new Winchester brass when I loaded it, so it's now once fired. I've already resized it. I've polished and tumbled the brass and cleaned out the primer pockets. So let's get them primed up. Slide them up in there. Nice and easy. It should go right in. I always feel to make sure it's flush with my finger. Verify I got a primer in it. And then I'll put it face down or face up. I'll keep them all the same way. There again, just looking at it, checking it, filling this. You can do a lot with your hands that you can't, that your eyes won't pick up. You can feel if that case neck is split. Also, that primer should have just a little resistance as it goes in there, in the primer pocket. If it just goes right in, there's no resistance. It may be that your primer pocket's out of size. And sometimes if that occurs, your primer will actually fall out. I've had that happen before. The primer pockets get wore out and the primers don't stay in. You ever notice sometimes on these reloading videos, it's kind of like Waylon Jennings when he was doing the Duke Boys theme song? Only show his hands and not his face on TV. I really think some of these reloading guys are like afraid of the government or being identified. They don't want their neighbors to know they reload or something. I don't know. Internet's full of weirdos. I guess I'm one of them. We're just going to load 15 of these. I don't want to do a whole lot because I may find a better load for them and then I'll never shoot these that I loaded today. But we're going hunting tonight. So want 15 loaded. I won't have any trouble doing 15. Another good thing to do is, if you know you're loading 15 cases, put 15 primers in here. When you run out of primers, you should run out of cases. No primers left. Every case got a primer. Let's get some powder in them. I tell you what, one of these days, I'm going to spring for the big fancy powder measure that does all this for you. Shooting for 49 grains. Oh, I just went past it. There we go. It's usually about 30 grains in a scoop of Varget. One of these 2.2 cc. I think these are Lee powder measures. I don't know what they call them. I got them used. I just kind of tap it as my powder trickler. Then I get to talking and go over and have to scoop some more back out. It's 49.1. That's 49 on the money. One of those automated jobs sure would be nice. Okay, we have 49 grains of powder in each cartridge, and I've looked at all the brass, and I can literally see powder all the way to the top of the bottom of the neck. So let's talk about setting the die up. Put my brass in there. I ran it to the top. I tightened the die down until I just started feeling it hit the brass, the top of the brass. Just barely. I backed it off a full turn. Backed the cedar plug up. Now I'm going to run it down. Set a bullet in the neck. I'm just working on the bullet depth. I didn't hit anything. Okay, so basically I've just got the bullet barely in there, and I want to creep up on my overall length. I'm shooting for an overall length of 2.812. That's what my test rounds were. You can go down as much as you want, but you can never go back up. So just creep up on it. .812, exactly what we're looking for. Now, I've got the length right, but I don't have my die seated down far enough. So I'm going to back the cedar plug off, back it up enough that it's not going to engage the bullet. Loosen the lock nut on the entire die, back it off, run it up in there. Now with the cedar plug up, we're just going to creep. We're really going to set the crimp, and it ain't going to be much of a crimp. Alright, I'm engaging the top of the brass. I'll just go maybe a 32nd of a turn further. tighten that up. Run the cedar plug down until you engage the top of the bullet. Now, if this is all you're going to load, you could tighten up your set screw, leave all this tight, and then you can take the die out, put it back in. Should work just right next time. I'm still at 2.812. There's no bulges in the brass. I didn't cramp the neck down into the brass. So let's try another one with it set and see if we're still on. .812, right on the money. We're good to go. 2 down, 13 to go. So there you have it. 15 rounds we loaded this afternoon. It's 2:30. We need to get in the stand. 125 grain Nozler Ballistic tips with 49 grains of Varget powder. Hopefully we see a buck tonight. Coleman gets a shot at it. If he does, we'll know how these bullets perform. Maybe you have a particular 308 load that works for you, or maybe you have a Remington 700 VTR. If you have a good hunting load, man, by all means share it with me. I'd love to try it in this rifle. If you have any questions or comments about this load or any of the reloading videos, be sure and leave them below. I'd be glad to get back to you, help you in any way I can. I appreciate your help. Thanks for watching.